farms, farmlands, and harass and intimidate the rightful owners of the place. And I want to commend the security because we actually went into it and ensured that anybody that was seen was so arrested, and we put the situation under control. And so going forward, I still want to charge you to be vigilant. To be vigilant and let us not allow our laws to be trampled upon by anybody in the state.
Hello everyone and welcome back. My people, this is going to be the end of Fulani herdsmen in Nigeria because right now, many states are now enforcing this anti-open grazing law, right? So you guys know that when they brought up this particular bill, anti-open grazing, in the National Assembly, many people from the north were against it. This is the reason why that bill did not skate through. Surprisingly, since yesterday, that this particular video that had been going viral, where the governor of Bayelsa State stated that they have enforced anti-open grazing law in Bayelsa State, that no Fulani herdsmen have right to come to their states and going around with cows and destroying people's farms, which a lot of people have applauded the governor of Bayelsa State, because every state in Nigeria need this type of law, my people. This is the only way we can stop all this nonsense Fulani herdsmen are doing in people's farms. And through that, they are buying, raping, and doing all kinds of atrocities. So people are now saying that if state has this power to make such law, so what is preventing other states to do that? Knowing fully well that this open grazing has brought a lot of problems in Nigeria, especially insecurity, which a lot of people are confirming that yes, that this law in every state, but enforcement is the problem, because a lot of governors have already collected money from some people in order to allow Fulani herdsmen to go around in their state with cows, destroying people's farm. This is very, very unfair, honestly. My people, let me allow you guys to just listen and hear what he said here, and also other videos, what people are saying concerning, this Fulani herdsmen, like what is going on right now in Nigeria. Just take a listen.
That this is the first for this year. I didn't truly believe. It shows that the service commanders are working. Because I thought the last meeting we had was in January, but looking at the minutes, it was in December. And so 5 years in office, and we tried to mark those 5 years in office, and all of it went smoothly. All the commissionings and everything, visitors that came, everybody came and was commending the state for the security and the peace. And so it is not just those of us, the steering, it is also all of us in the inside of the vehicle who have piloted the state to safety. I also recall the seeming security threat was the issue of headers coming into farmlands, and there were instances that we had 1 or 2 persons were killed, and even at that we were able to take over control and ensure that the headers did not continue with that kind of lifestyle that they are bringing from elsewhere to our state. And we reminded everybody that we have laws governing Bayelsa State, and one of it is anti-open grazing, and that nobody should bring his cattle or herds to Bayelsa and begin to go into farmlands, and harass and intimidate the rightful owners of the place. And I want to commend the security because we actually went into it and ensured that anybody that was seen was so arrested, and we put the situation under control. And so going forward, I still want to charge you to be vigilant. To be vigilant and let us not allow our laws to be trampled upon by anybody in the state. That's the beauty of a federal system of government. You have federal government laws, you have state government laws. And so when you come into a state, you look at the state laws, and particularly laws that will actually lead to peace and security for service commanders. And so I appreciate you for ensuring that our laws are not being trampled on, and we will continue to ensure that cattle rearers do not come into Bayelsa to do open grazing. If you want to sell your cattle, you are free to do so, but not to come and do open grazing. If you want to do that, go and buy land. Buy your land, fence it, and keep your cattle in one place. And government will be aware that there is grazing taking place here.
Now, there is an argument that most Fulani herders put forward in defense of their way of life. Now, let me attempt to put things in proper perspective. You see, nobody is asking anybody to mend his way of life to suit my own. But remember that the justification for you to live your way of life ends where my own starts. Now, Fulanis say that about 80% of their family depends on cow rearing. We don't have a problem with that. We don't have a problem with how you want to go about your business. I respect anybody's business, but respect in this sense has to be reciprocal, has to be mutual. If you want me to respect your way of life, then you should also respect my way of life. For instance, I'm an Urobo man. My father did the business of Ogogoro. My father cook Ogogoro. Me, I follow cook Ogogoro. My school fees, university where I go finish. Now Ogogoro Monday take send me go school. But when I come to your place, you frown at me and prevent me from doing my business. And that's my way of life. But you choose not to respect it. But you want me to respect your way of life when you come to my place. Because in my own place, when I'm distilling my Ogogoro, nobody tells me that I'm doing what is wrong, because it's our way of life. And we both respect one another. In your own place, where you rear your cow, if you like, eat up all your crops, because nobody is your way of life. But where you take your way of life to another man's land, and you say the man should bend his way of life to accommodate your way of life, now we're going to have a problem. That's where our problem begins. If you're carrying your way of life to my own space, you have to adjust to accommodate my own way of life. After all, the saying goes, if you're in Rome, you behave like who? The Rome. So if you're in my place, you behave like me. But here you are coming to my place and asking me to behave like you and accommodate you. And it doesn't even end here, to also accommodate your excesses. Now, a young man was making a video saying that if we see Fulanis don't go to bushes with AK-47, that those are terrorists. Well, I applaud him for coming out to condemn it. At least it's a good thing now that what happened in Edo State is beginning to get people to talk. At least it's getting people to talk. At least that's a start. That's a start. It is a beautiful thing. But if you are talking about respect, it has to be mutual. It has to be reciprocal. That is, it has to come from both ways. My bush is my bush. Your bush is your bush. I do not see a southerner leaving the south to the north with a gun, and then vigilantes will stop us. I'm sure in fact, it is even unthinkable. It is even unthinkable. What we are saying is that if you are coming to the south, in the south, people have land. It belongs to people. Buy a piece of land, and if you want to graze in that piece of, if it's your personal land and you are grazing on it, fine. Nobody says anything. But you don't just take your cow into people's farm. Those that are driving their cows into people's farm don't even have AK-47. And uproot somebody's hard work, somebody's harvest, and feed it to your cows. There is no, as your cow is precious to you, it's the same way those farm produce that your cows are eating is precious to the owners of those farms. Do you know how many people you have prevented from going to farms that consequently results to hunger in those communities? If you are angry, this anger is everywhere. The entitlement you have that your people are being murdered, it's the same entitlement I have that my people are also being murdered. Because those are not reported and you have just one of yours that is reported. Now, unaliving of any kind is bad. This page does not support any violence of any kind. But if we are making argument, we have to be rational in our choices of perspectives. You cannot force people to look at things from your own binoculars. It has to come from both ways. Nigeria, if we must accommodate one another, we must respect each other's religion. We must respect